Aloha, welcome. This is Maui sunset down in Kihei. We're going to get started, just finding that comfortable seat. Once again, rubbing the hands together, building up some heat, and then allowing yourself to ground into this place. Wherever you are, as you lift the crown up to the sky, allow the tailbone to draw closer to the earth. Place the hands on the heart. Today is about the heart openers and bringing in that space through the front body, starting to connect deeper within yourself. Taking a few deep breaths in through the nose, down into the belly, expanding into the chest and the lungs, lifting up the crown and open mouth, let it go. Allowing yourself to notice the breath. Notice the heart space and finding that comfortable place in your body to begin to move a little bit more. Allow that right leg to come back behind you. The left foot plants on top of that right thigh. Walk that left hand away. Come down onto the left elbow. Reach the right fingertips up to the sky overhead as you sink that right hip down. This side body stretch, cheerleader sit, I like to call it. Then open up that right arm back behind you, open up the chest. Find that breath, maybe look to the sky or look down to the earth. As you exhale, lower down that hand, reach it long and touch down to the earth. Inhale, lift it up, open up back behind you, look up to the sky. Draw the shoulder blades together, exhale, lower down. Keep up out of that left shoulder as you move through this flow, inhaling to lift up, exhaling to come down, touching the earth gently. And then find that center point, inhale and come back up to sit. Come back to neutral. Place that left hand back behind you, lift up the hips, reach the right arm back, reach. Lift up the hips a little bit more, open the throat, keep the breath flowing in and out. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, lower down. Very nice. Go ahead and take the legs out long in front of you. Find that staff pose where the legs can start to engage. You press through the bottoms of the feet, spread the toes wide. Take the hands down to either side of you, melt the shoulders away from the ears. Allow yourself to find this rooting point down through the tailbone. Maybe have a blanket underneath the sits bones just to help with that rounding of the back as you sit there to breathe. And then when you are ready, coming out of it, to come into the side sit on the other side, taking that right hand down next to you, lowering down that right elbow, reaching up the left fingertips as that left hip lowers down. Reach it long, breathe into that side body, open up the front, take the shoulder blades together, take that left arm back. Taking a look up to the sky or down to the earth. Your next exhale to reach yourself down to the earth or stay at center. Maybe moving through that flow on this side, taking that exhale down, the inhale to lift up, open up through the front. And the exhale to gently lower down, touch the earth. Inhale, lift up, open up through the front, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift yourself back to center. As you are ready, come back up to sit. And just like you did on the other side, take that right hand back behind you, lift up with the left fingertips, lift up the hips, open up the throat, bring that breath down into the belly, open up through the heart, reach long, and the exhale, sink down the hips. Inhale to lift up, scoop up, reach long. And the exhale, lower down. After finding your modified mermaid, come back to center. Bring yourself into this bound angle or butterfly pose, as I like to call it for kids. You can take the bottoms of the feet touch together. You can have them far away or close up. Open up the knees. Maybe take the in-breath to find that length. And as you are ready, you can find those exhales to fold forward over the legs. Every in-breath, finding the length in the spine, reaching the crown. And then every exhale to fold a little bit deeper. Maybe taking those elbows as an option, you can put them onto the insides of those thighs to press the legs away. Feel into the hips. Make sure this is okay for the low back. Every in-breath, find that length. And then beginning to move away from that, taking the bottoms of the feet down to the mat, and then touch the hands down behind you. The fingers can point towards you or maybe out to the sides or out to the back. Draw the shoulder blades together a lot on the back body. Open up through the chest. Press through the bottoms of the feet. Inhale to lift up, reverse tabletop. Finding that opening through the front body. Maybe looking around to the left or the right. Keeping the head there at neutral. Or if it feels okay for the back of the neck, you can allow the head to come back. Take a breath. And then begin to exhale and lower down. Finding that sitting position where you can hold the legs in, squeeze in there, sit on the sits bones nice and tall, hug in, hug in. Good. And then go ahead and transition yourself into the tabletop position, all fours, where the hands are directly under shoulders, knees directly under the hips. Neutralize through the spine, press through the tops of the feet, engage through those inner thighs. Start to find those cat-cows, where you can round through the back body on the exhales. Inhale to lift up, find the length, allow the belly to melt. The heart opens up to the front. The exhale to lower down the crown, release the head, the neck. Inhaling to scoop up, look forward, exhaling to draw the tailbone down and longer. The whole spine moving with your breath. Inhaling to lift up, exhaling to round. Pausing at center to walk your hands forward and press those hips up and back into that puppy pose. The forehead touches down to the mat or to a supported block of some kind. If you have a yoga block, that is perfect. Starting to move into that downward dog, curling the toes as you lift yourself up and back, lifting the hips higher, walking the dog, bending one knee and then the other, drawing the heels closer, melting the heart, finding the gaze towards the knees or the toes, and then bending the knees a lot to stick the hips up and up, back and more, and then straightening through the legs. Allowing yourself to be here for a couple rounds of breath. And then inhaling to lift that right leg high into the sky. The exhale to bend the knee, come back down next to the left. Inhaling, lift up that left leg, that three-legged dog, reach it back long, and then exhale, lower it down. Taking the knees as wide as a sticky mat, the toes to touch, press the hips back, find a child's pose. Finding length here as you reach the fingertips up long towards the top of the mat, the hips reach back in the other direction, melt the heart here, draw the shoulder blades together, sink into this place. Allow the forehead to come down to that block or a mat. Looking up to the top of your mat, press your way up into that downward dog once again. Starting to walk yourself up to the top of the mat to halfway lift. Inhale, press the hands onto the shins. Exhale to fold. Allow yourself to release here, bending the knees a lot to touch the hands down. And then take opposite elbows. Rock yourself side to side. Allow yourself to release through the low back all the way through the spine down to the neck. Inhale to halfway lift, touch the hands to the shins. Exhale to fold. Inhale, press yourself all the way up, bending the knees, opening up to the sky. Exhale, take hands down, heart center. Finding your Tadasana here, rooting down in through the bottoms of the feet, all four corners pressing evenly. Find the inner thighs, engaging towards one another. Draw the tailbone long, down towards the earth. Scoop up the belly. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, dive it forward. Interlace the fingers back behind you. Touch the palms together. Allow yourself to fold forward. Bend the knees as much as you'd like to find a gentle release through the low back, through the shoulders. If this is too much for the shoulders, you can release that interlacing of the fingers. Touch the hands down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Touch hands to shins. Exhale, touch hands down to the mat. Step yourself back. With the right foot, lower that right knee down. The top of the right foot touches. Find this low lunge, this opening in that right hip flexor. Inhale, scoop yourself up. Reach the fingertips long, melt the shoulders down. Exhale to bend the elbows, draw the shoulder blades together. Open up through the front body. Inhale, lift up, reach up. And exhale to sink the hips and bend the elbows. Starting to find this heart opener. You can either keep the hands there at that cactus arms, or find the hands back on the low back, the fingers pointing down towards the tailbone and lifting up with the heart, finding this baby back bend to open up through the chest. Inhale, bring arms up. Exhale, plant hands down to the inside of that left foot. Start to find movements, shifts back and forth with the hips, drawing the left hip back as you go, lifting the left toes. Inhaling to come forward, sinking the hips. And then exhaling to draw yourself back, lift those left toes. Moving at your pace, your breath, taking it easy. And taking the in-breath to lift that left leg long back behind you. Come into a tabletop position, wiggle the hips left and right. Take the knees out as wide as the sticky mat toes to touch. Hips back for a child's pose. Rest. Breathe. Take an inhale, look up towards the top of the mat, come back into this downward dog, curling the toes, maybe pedaling the knees gently, still finding that length and that opening in the back body. Walk yourself forward, inhale to halfway lift, exhale to fold. Very nice. Finding that length once more, inhale, halfway lift, exhale to fold, press through the bottoms of the feet, inhale, lift yourself up to stand. Exhale, bring hands down, heart center. Beautiful. One more time, rooting down through the bottoms of the feet, this Tadasana. Open up the arms, the hands to the front. Draw the shoulder blades together on the back body. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold it forward. Touch the hands down, bend the knees as much as you would like. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Touch the hands down, step the left foot back. The left knee comes down, the left top of the left foot comes down. Inhale, lift up into this low lunge, reach the fingertips high, lower the shoulder blades away from the ears. Finding your exhale to gently bend through the elbows, draw the shoulder blades together, lift up through the front body, the heart. Inhale, lift up the fingertips. Exhale, bend the elbows, reach your heart forward as you sink the hips lower, maybe finding that supportive hand position on the low back, drawing the shoulder blades more onto the back body. Keep the hands so that the fingertips are pointed down. Be here. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, take the hands down to the inside of that right foot. Start to find the movement through the hips. The exhale to bring the hips back. Lift up the right toes. Inhale to bring yourself forward. The exhale to lift that right hip back as you come back to straighten through that right leg. The right toes lift up. The exhale and the inhale, moving with your breath. Exhale to come back. Inhale to move forward. Inhaling, taking that right leg long back behind you. Coming into that tabletop, wiggling through the hips, gently moving through a cat-cow, neutralize through the spine. Feel into both sides. And then exhale, press back into this child's pose with the knees together this time. Allowing the breath to fill up the belly, feeling the belly on top of the thighs. Maybe taking the hands and the arms down long behind you onto either side of you. Rest. Release the jaw. Release the facial muscles, soften through the heart. Melts. A couple rounds of breath. As you're ready, returning the hands to the top of the mat, and then press your way up to sitting on your heels. Once again, maybe taking a bind behind you, maybe staying here, drawing the shoulder blades together, press the palms, sitting up, or finding an exhale to fold yourself forward, allowing the arms to come up off of the low back. Taking your time. Wherever you go, you can breathe sitting up. You can release the clasp if that's too much. And then inhale, release it all the way. Sit in that hero pose with the palms face up. Couple breaths. We're going to practice this breath of fire. This is a pumping through the navel, which is more of a passive in-breath and an active exhale. So it's where you will breathe out the nose, kind of like the sound of a panting of a dog, closing off the lips and just breathing out the nose. Try this for 30 seconds on your own. And at the end of that breath of fire, you inhale and hold the breath at the top for a couple of seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. And then the exhale to release it all out, letting it go, flipping the palms to face up. It's called the ego eradicator, this breath of fire. Helps to release the mind chatter and thoughts that happen in our daily lives. Practicing for 30 seconds to a minute, up to 3 minutes, sometimes 11 minutes. That's the Kundalini practice, is a way to go. This is the boat pose, transitioning forward so that the feet can come down once again, and making this your boat, your fullest expression today. Wherever you would like to go, you can lift the legs long, keep your chest lifted, heart open. You can keep the knees bent. You can touch down one toe at a time. Wherever you go, take a couple rounds of breath, and then the exhale to completely lower down and release yourself back onto your mat. Separate those, bring the shoulder blades more onto the back body. Separate the sticky mat, pulling it apart. And then bend through the knees. Bring the bottoms of the feet close in towards the body. We're going to find a bridge pose where you press through the bottoms of the feet, pressing them down and away. Release through the glutes. You can stay here. You can find that interlacings of the fingers underneath you and walk the shoulder blades towards one another. You can stay here. Keep the throat open where the breath can flow into the belly. You can play with the legs by maybe lifting that left leg up into the sky. Or maybe switching and taking that right leg into the sky. You can definitely just stay in this bridge with the hips lifted, releasing the glutes and pressing more into the bottoms of the feet. If you have that interlacings of the fingers, walk the shoulder blades apart, release the interlacings, and then go ahead and lower down the low back, one vertebrae at a time. Finding windshield wipers, walking the feet apart, the knees to touch, taking the knees from left and then right. On your breath, the in-breath to come back to center, the exhale over to one side. Inhale to center, exhale over to the other side. If you'd like a different feel, you can walk the feet apart a little bit more. And then once you're on that right side, you can stay there for a few rounds of breath. You can deepen by taking that right foot on top of the left thigh, checking in with the knee, the low back. If there's any pinching, just back off, take that foot off of the leg. And then as you are ready, removing the foot if you have it, and then taking that breath to move over to the other side. Settling the legs over here, maybe taking that left foot on top of the right thigh to deepen, checking in with the knee, the low back, making sure it's okay. Removing the foot as you are ready and sweeping the knees a couple more times back and forth, eventually drawing them in towards the chest, hugging the legs, rocking from side to side. Go ahead and extend the left leg long. Draw the right knee in towards that right side body. Breathe. And hold on to that leg with the left arm. Extend the right arm over to the right. Draw the right knee across the body to come into this twist. Moving the head from side to side, maybe looking to the right or to the left. Taking your time in each pose. As you're ready, inhale to come back to center. Bring the knee to center. Take a breath. And then switch legs. The left leg coming in, drawing it into that left side body, and then holding onto it with the right hand. Cross it across the body. Allow that left arm to extend over to the left. Maybe look to the left or look to the right. Looking to the left can deepen the twist. Looking to the right can allow this breath to flow into the neck and that left shoulder. Inhaling to come back to center, hug the knee in for a breath. And then allow it to come down long onto the mat. Eventually starting to settle in for this final resting pose of Shavasana. This is your time to integrate the practice. Be here for 5 to 7 minutes. Usually for a 30-minute practice, I'd like to have about 5 minutes at least to integrate and rest in stillness. Shavasana is known as one of the most difficult poses in yoga because it is all about stillness, noticing the breath and releasing the breath to a more natural state, releasing yourself, releasing the body, allowing the muscles to relax completely. Notice if there's any holding, maybe in the belly or in the shoulders, and feel that it can completely release and melt. Eventually beginning to wake up the body by wiggling the fingertips and the toes, moving the ankles, the wrists, taking that big long stretch, reaching the arms up overhead, drawing the knees into the body, hug yourself in, give yourself this gentle embrace of love and kindness for yourself. Rocking from side to side to roll over onto your favorite side. To take pause with your arm under your head as a pillow. Eventually making your way up for that comfortable seat. Keep the eyes closed or the gaze heavy to stay inward and continue to feel the breath. As you come into that comfortable seat with the sits bones rooting, you can flip the palms up and then bring them to heart center, inhaling to lift the chest into the thumbs. And the exhale to release the breath. Bowing the chin to the chest, to look into the heart, bringing that smile to the lips, up to the eyes. Thank you so much. Namaste. My soul.